Thank you, dear friends, for tuning into the Family Enrichment Hub. Thank you for loving our channel. Thank you for liking our channel. It's another beautiful day today with me, Stella Obokelo, your host. And today we're going to be sharing on the virtue of sincerity and truth. Allow me share an incident which happened around our house last year. We happened to bring over a distant family friend to come live with us for a while. And one weekend while I was away with my husband, this person discovered where we had kept our bedroom key, and he entered our bedroom without permission and picked a car key that we had left therein. And he came out to drive a car which he had never driven. And as you'd expect, the inevitable happened. He crashed the car into the gate and caused us some unnecessary expenses there. And the winner of it all was this person was extremely unremorseful. He was not apologetic about what had happened. And it struck me that the virtue of sincerity and truth does not come by osmosis. We need to do work in the lives of our children in order to help them to espouse this virtue. And so on that note, friends, allow me share a few tips that we can use as parents and caretakers to instill the virtue of truth and sincerity in the lives of our children. And one which I highly recommend is allow children to go shopping for household items. Give them monies and calculate the balances that you expect, because most of the time these items have fixed prices and we know the balances that we expect. And watch the behavior of your children around monies that they return home, and if they return them anyway. If they don't, you'll appreciate the work that you have to do to instill the virtue of truth in the lives of your children. And on that note, friends, allow me share another incident that happened to us in our earlier years while the children were still much younger. We sent them out to the shop to go buy certain items, and we knew the balance that we expected. So when the children returned with a lot of excitement, they had brought extra balance, and we knew that this extra balance was an error on the part of the seller. We used this opportunity to explain it to them that every time you return money which is in excess, you're causing somebody a loss on their business. And so, friends, I encourage all of us to do the same with our children. Allow them to go shopping and watch how they behave around money. Another incident that we can use, friends, is give children clothes to wash. Usually those clothes of ours have monies that remain in the pockets, and watch how children behave around the monies that are in the clothes. Do they return them or do they retain them as their own? And use that as an opportunity to teach your children the virtue of truth and sincerity. And sometimes you can even do it deliberately. Leave money in the pockets and you know how much it is, and see whether that money will be returned or not. That will help you to gauge the kind of people that you're living with and the children that you're raising, whether they are espousing the virtue of truth or otherwise. And then another thing for us as parents, the times that we receive phone calls when we're in the company of our children, let's be mindful of the way we speak. If you speak the truth, the children are picking a cue. If you speak lies on phone and they are listening to you, remember, you will have lost the moral authority to help your children instill the virtue of sincerity and truth within them. And so we have to be very truthful in our interactions on phone, because they are going to shape the interactions of our children as well. And then another one that you can use around the house, when you buy sauce which is extra and you're expecting that this sauce needs to take you a particular period of time, and then suddenly you notice that the sauce has been eaten up, find out from the children who did this. Usually take the interest to know what exactly happened behind the scenes. A sincere person will come out and tell you the truth. The insincere one will not want to discuss it. And so you use that as an opportunity to explain to the children and teach them the importance of being honest and being sincere with just the dealings within the house or within the kitchen. Another incident, friends, that we can use to help our children instill the virtue of sincerity is for those of us who use taxis. Use the taxi incidents. A few times I have been given extra balances by the taxi conductor, and I use that to explain to the children that every time I get away with extra monies which the conductor gave me, I am causing that person a loss on their business. And so I explain to them that they need to do the same. When somebody gives you extra monies in error, kindly do not hold it back. Return it to that person, because that money does not belong to you. And for me, who has worked in the bank, there are also so many incidents which I've witnessed in the bank, where you pay out money in error, you pay out excess money, and a few times the honest people usually return that money, but the dishonest ones do not. And so you can use that as well to explain to your children that every time you hold back monies which have been paid to you in error, in excess, you're causing tears to somebody, and you don't want somebody's tears to be on your head. And so the children will learn and appreciate that they need to be sincere in their dealings and interactions with other people where money is concerned. And for those of us who happen to have organization assets under our custody, for instance, cars, when you go fueling those cars and you're requesting the pump attendants to write you a different amount from what you have fueled, what are you communicating? You're showing that you're not a sincere person. And so you can use that as well to explain to your children that the virtue of sincerity is about speaking the truth, living the truth, and going by the truth in every interaction that you have. And then another one that we use at home here, we have a little container where we keep our loose monies, and we usually know how much monies, we have a rough estimate of how much is in the container at any one particular time. So when we notice the money is less, we want to use that to speak to the children and explain to them that every time you pick monies from that container without asking for permission, you're actually being insincere. And so we use that as well as opportunity to teach our children the virtue of sincerity. And then in the video that we spoke about last week on parental influence on the lives and behavior of our children, I highlighted that our behavior as parents directly impacts our children's lives. And so for us in the house, we usually like to use the negative examples, the negative incidents that we have had in our interactions with people. And we use that to explain to our children that you don't want to copy the lives of people that have defrauded us, people that have stolen from us. For instance, the relative that defrauded the shopping banda. We usually give that as an example around our house. You don't want to be like that person. Live your life and let it be a life which is admirable, a life which is worth emulating. And so as we talk about these things on a regular basis within the house, we are helping children appreciate that indeed insincerity does not pay, but the virtue of sincerity does pay. And then for us also, since we have a shop that we are running, a mobile money shop, we use that shop usually to help the children appreciate that sincerity is a virtue that we need in our daily interactions with our customers. And so when the children sometimes return money which is less, you're doing the balancing and you notice some monies are missing, we still explain to them that when you make money to disappear within the shop, when you use the capital which is supposed to be working for us, you're actually being insincere. And so friends, those are the incidents that for us we've used as a family in order to help our children to appreciate that sincerity is actually a virtue that pays. And on that note, friends, allow me share a very familiar story with all of us. It is told that some time ago, a king wanted to find a replacement when he was going to be transitioning, and he decided to test the people that he wanted to be the ones to replace him while he was gone. So he brought seeds and gave each of the people a seed to plant and told them, go take care of that seed and return it to me after 3 weeks. And everybody was given their seed, and they went home and they started to take care of their seeds. Now, after 3 weeks, everybody returned with a very full-grown seedling, but one particular person had nothing to show because his seedling failed to germinate. And so when everybody presented their flourishing seedling, this particular person had nothing to present. And the king looked at him and congratulated him and thanked him and appreciated him, because he had seen that in all the people that had been given the seeds, it was only this one who was truthful, because the king knew that the seeds that he had given everybody were actually not going to germinate because they were roasted seeds. And so, friends, the virtue of sincerity pays, as you've witnessed in that story. That particular person was rewarded and he became the next king in that particular kingdom. Friends, Obama made a very powerful remark in one of his addresses. He said, everything else is unfulfilled if we fail at family. So be a good role model for the young people that you are raising. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be role models for our children. Let's instill the virtue of sincerity and truth in the lives of our children. And that is how we are going to change and transform our society. Thank you so much for listening in today. Thank you for loving our channel. I encourage those of us who have not subscribed, kindly subscribe, kindly like our channel, and ring the notification bell so that every time we upload a new video, you're able to receive it in real time. God bless you. I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.